Hi, everybody. So I have
Hey,
Tavel and Dotan with me today, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the world. And they wear my favorite clothes. So Dotan's got a t-shirt on today, and this is organic cotton that he's wearing that's infused with protons, right?
photons, light photons.
Photons,
Protons too,
light
maybe.
therapy. Okay, yeah. And it's the best stuff. So I just love their clothing line, and they're kind of, you can wear them all every day. Like
Yeah.
they're regular, normal street clothes, casual clothes, and really fun too, because they have lots of cool sayings on them. So,
Yeah. So
anyway,
what we're saying is that our clothes are here to support your aura, your vibration, to help you raise it, to be aligned, to be aware of what it is that you wear, and to slowly change the way we relate to everything around us. Everything around us is energy. So we all are energy, and we need to be
yes.
aware of what it is that we eat, drink, wear, etc., etc.
Yeah, and just supporting your soul's mission here on Earth and like activating people in the meantime, helping you find your soul family. I think that that's been such a big blessing that we've heard so many of our clients and even us like, experiencing. So it's been really, really cool to build it as a family.
Yes. It's really cool. I love it. I have so many pieces. So,
Your
yeah,
whole closet.
the
No, that's
whole
really
closet is
More
full.
to come, more to come.
Yes.
So we have some interesting things to talk to
Yes.
this today.
Yes. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about abundance, right?
cool.
We're going to talk about abundance.
Hmm.
Well, we're going to talk about, we want to bring the subject of the financial,
The whole thing.
the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, we know by now, we all are aware that the financial system is a control system, and it's made in a way to keep us always in on the run or
Yeah.
in the loop. You want to start talking about that first, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we
What
would love to
questions do you
hear.
guys have about it? Because there's a lot that's happening.
Well, we want to talk about what to expect as regular people out there. How do we secure our future right now? Is everything going to collapse? What's going to happen to our money? How are we going to live? Uh, is crypto really the answer? Is it are all the cryptocurrencies are just a different kind of a control system by the
Mm.
same kind of people or not? Uh, what's a
So,
part?
there's two kinds of crypto, and I'm not a financial advisor, so remember that. And I will not contact you in the comments. That's another thing. A lot of people get into my comments and try and get people to buy crypto. So that is absolutely not happening. However, I have personally XLM and XRP.
RP.
And I have a couple other ones, but they're very like, small amounts of that. And the reason is I know intuitively, and I can also see how it's unfolding, that they will be the backbone of the financial system when it comes to exchanging money in the future. So it's pretty obvious at this point. I mean, all you have to do is have a TikTok account and go explore a little bit, or, I mean, that's where I get a lot of information is from TikTok. I have all my friends have XRP, most have XLM, and we may not know what we're doing with crypto, but we have those two things because intuitively we know that they're going to shift with us into the new financial system.
And why do
So
you think the old one is collapsing? Like, this is everything that we've come to know so far, and like our parents and our parents' parents, and everything is changing. What does that mean for us, not only like in the 3D world, but like spiritually, where it's like the money is no longer tangible? It is, but not really. Everything is digital.
We'll still have some tangible money. So we will still have, I think it will look different. And I think it could actually be woven with some metal.
Okay.
So just like they have grounding sheets that have little strands of silver in them to keep you grounded at night, I think that the money might actually have strands of silver or strands of gold within it. And I don't think it will be worth as much as it says on the bill. At least that's what I get from my higher self, but it will be worth something. Whereas the paper money is just worth, it's basically a promissory note. It's not real. And also, the system that we've been using, the SWIFT system, it holds your money. So it takes so long for the exchange to happen that they're doing weird things with your money in the background as your money is going from one place to another. So it's a really kind of crappy system, in my opinion. But also, if you think about it, as soon as you give money to a bank, if it's in some sort of physical form, it just turns into a digital asset. They don't hold money in their vault more than they need for like a day or two.
Right.
So if I want to extract like $5,000, which I did when I bought something with my husband, and it was a car. Well, it was a bus, basically. When we bought that, I had to call ahead, right?
Right.
Because they wouldn't have had it on hand. So that's really important to know that if you have a lot of money in the bank, you're not going to be able to access all of it. You'll be lucky to get a few $1,000s because they don't hold it. All they have is numbers on a screen.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like you always think of it as like, you see your bank account online and you think that somewhere there's like dollars stacks in like a room, and then every time you spend, like someone's taking something out. But in reality, you have no idea like how it's just numbers on a screen, really.
Yeah.
so a lot of people are, went to gold and silver
Yeah.
physical. Was that the right way?
Yeah, that's going to be good too, because I do get that there will be a way that you can actually exchange that in the bank.
There will be a
So,
way.
yeah, that's what I get about it for my higher self. So,
So, how do you think, how will the financial system collapse or change in the next few years? What's our timeline as far as that?
the timeline is up to us. So, that's the biggest thing. If we agree to accept extraordinary abundance and we agree to do that with our nervous system, and we talk to our body and we say, yes, I'm ready to do these things, then it will happen faster and faster. Because I will tell you, the financial system is complete. It is done. It is ready. So it's only humanity that has been like, well, when will they say it's ready? We have to stop depending on the outside and start looking on the inside, because as a group, we're actually driving when this happens.
Mm.
And that's been the hardest thing to kind of comprehend.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we still don't think together.
Yeah.
Everybody are on such different um, mindset.
We are, but most of the people at this point are holographic, or they are not really here. There's something we're interacting with to get information back and forth. So you and Tavel are real beings And if you encounter someone in the grocery store and you stand next to them and you say hello to them, they're most likely not a real being. They're a piece of your consciousness that has shown up to interact with you. So that's a whole nother thing. But there's a huge part of the population that is not actually functionally helping with what's happening. So
The
they don't have any say.
NPCs,
They're
what
a
you call NPCs,
non-player
right?
character.
Right.
Yeah. So don't give them any power. That's my biggest message to people. Quit handing them power because they're actually part of the collective consciousness. We're holding them up, but when we give them power to believe that they think this, they think that it's not going to happen, they think everything's normal, then you're basically giving away a piece of your own creative power to create something better. So stop worrying about what they think. Anybody that's an NPC, just say, well, the NPCs are doing their thing and I'm going to do my thing. And I know that I am part of a I'm a player character here.
Right.
I'm playing this game and I really feel that I'm ready for that abundance. And if you do that, then it shifts everything. So you guys have huge power. And one of the funniest studies is that study about the monkey on the island who washed her sweet potato. And it was called the 100th monkey theory. And they had a little group of monkeys, and all of a sudden, one of the monkeys decided, well, I'm going to wash my potato in the ocean before I eat it. So she did. And then all of a sudden, her whole tribe of monkeys is doing the same thing. And then the next island, which they had no contact with,
Right.
began to do the same thing.
Hmm.
So it's all about your energy. And then that was one monkey, and she changed 100 monkeys' lives because
All right.
they had salt water purifying their potato before they stuck it in their mouth.
They were seasoning it.
Yeah. So be the monkey.
Be a monkey.
Yeah. Lead the way.
It's so crazy to think about because when we were talking about the financial system and I don't want to sway too much away from this, but I took a class in college. It was called Ethics in Black Mirror, and we would watch Black Mirror episodes and like analyze them. And there was this one episode, I forget the name, but essentially this woman lived in a society where through every interaction, somebody else is rating you on a scale of like 1 to 5, 5 stars being the best. And based on your societal ranking is how you get access to a better neighborhood to live in, a better car to drive, a better job. And
Oh,
essentially this character, something happens and she spirals and nobody wants to be associated with her, so they start giving her negative stars and you see how her life changes as she begins to not conform, either intentionally or not intentionally. But it was so interesting and it had me thinking like, okay, if banks aren't done, I know that China sort of has this like societal ranking, I
yeah.
think, but
Social currency or
that's
something. Yeah.
exactly social currency. And that's really crazy to think about that that could be the next form of currency.
Well, if you think about it, we won't have money in the future. So money will eventually go away because money was created for slavery. And
Right.
we can create anything that we want just with our mind. So if you follow like the gateway process or whatever that's called from the CIA, and obviously this is going on Rumble, if you follow that, then you've seen and know that walls are not real, your car's not real. And just like that, the NPCs, most of them are not really present in a body. They're in a hologram, and everything is made of liquid light. but their consciousness, they just don't have a soul that's present. So think about what you really want to create because you can create anything. You have a car, you have an office, you have a place to live. All of those things are creationary. And that's basically how we're going to learn to not need anything that we have to exchange.
Mm. So with money being out the door, right now it's digital currency that's sort of leading the way. Does it feel soul aligned? Because money can have a very low frequency with like greed and like, all of those really negative feelings and associations, jealousy, whatever. Um, do you think that digital currency will be at a higher spiritual frequency? Or like you said that money itself is going to be out. So would that mean that like that social currency is going to be like the new thing or like academic currency, like what you can offer in terms of ideas, or like what do you think
Frequency. It'll be
frequent?
more about frequency. And also there will be no need to, oh, I have to have this much money, so I have to go do all these things in order to survive. Survival will be covered.
Mm.
So we have a lot of different aspects of the money system that are going to change. So we have the straw man account. Okay.
Right.
And
Yeah.
some people, like maybe they didn't buy XRP, they didn't buy any ZIM, they didn't get any money from these other currencies that are really going to increase. So they don't have those things, and maybe they weren't meant to. They will still have their straw man account. So they won't have any debt. They'll have a home because the straw man account will cover the home. They'll have a car and they'll have a monthly income. So they won't need anything extra to survive. Now, if they want to go and have a great time and thrive and do things, then they'll probably contribute to society in some way. And they will have a job at one of those projects that inspires them. So they will have extra money as well. Go ahead, Val.
Okay, this could be controversial, but from what do you, okay. Are we moving to a more like communistic socialist society here? Because it sounds a bit like that.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of communities where
Okay.
people kind of share skills and do things like that. As far as communists, I would say no.
Hmm.
It's just every single person on the face of the earth will have some sort of straw man, except I'm not positive about Ethiopia because they haven't been following any of this, any of the cabal type structure. So they may not have a straw man. So maybe people will go in and do projects there and then everybody will be supported. People are not going to want to just sit at home and be bored all
Right.
day. If that is someone's goal, then they probably are not really real. They're probably a non player character. Anybody that's playing right now, they want to have fun, they want to contribute, and they want to create. So we're all going to be doing lots of things, but we're not going to be doing them because we need the money. We're going to be doing them because we like to do that thing, whatever it is.
Mm. You were mentioning the Zim earlier,
Yeah.
and that's the wave that is happening right now. We hear about it a lot of the reevaluation of certain currencies in the
Yeah.
world. If it's the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, the
Mm-hmm.
Zimbabwean dollar or gold-backed dollar. What else do we have? The Bolivar from Venezuela. So what do you think about that and how is that going to manifest?
So anybody who's purchased any of those things except for the Zim. So the
except for the
Zim,
SIP.
yeah, the Zim will be earmarked for projects. Okay, so if somebody only has Zim, you will get a portion of that Zim for personal use, but the rest of it will go to the projects that you want to do.
Mhm.
Okay, so, and Zim is going to be about consciousness. So that's where the social one comes in to Vel.
Right.
And it's not about what do you want to do, it's about what is your frequency. What are
Mhm.
you capable of actually doing? And what are your intentions about them? Those things that you want to do.
Right.
And that can be read by ETs, by frequency machines, whatever they want to use. And I think that is the only thing that will go through the military. Okay. So the Zim will be recognized and dealt with by the military.
Mm.
And they will say, okay, you guys want to do this project and you need to have certain things to do that. And we want to make sure you have some extra in case you want to do another project or you need to expand it. Definitely think big and make your nervous system ready to receive a massive amount of abundance if you want to do a project.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, we definitely have some projects in mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you want to do that, and your frequency is what's going to gauge how much you get out of that and
Right.
how much goes back to Zimbabwe and how much is used for just like blanket projects that maybe the military is planning. So you won't get all of that money, but you will get more of it. You have more projects to do, and your frequency is really high because they will know that you're able to do them.
But the military is the one dictating.
Yeah, the military is going to be the one who judges that.
So are they going to be in some sort of like in some sort of way like leaders of like the new earth since they're going to be deciding things for like
Yeah, a
okay.
lot of people that do these projects will be on councils and, really contributing ideas to New Earth.
But why the military though? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, the military is where all of the white hats have been. That's where most of this change actually occurred. So, as far as like, these are the people that have been driving the change for humanity. And you could call them Q, like the Q group.
Okay.
Um, Not all of the military was good, but at this point, the military is really carrying through everything.
And aren't isn't like the inherent intention to like of the military to follow orders? So who would be governing that? Like the military responds to somebody, like there's
Yeah,
always hierarchy.
there is. So the players that are in the military, they're the ones that are guiding the military right now. And also the ETs have a lot to do with what's going on with the military.
Okay.
Yeah. So just like, when you go into traffic, a lot of people in the military are NPCs as well. Doesn't
I
matter what part of society you're in, a huge amount of people are not really there.
It's so funny. Last time we spoke, you said something about traffic and like the freeway being blocked up, and you were like, NPCs go home. Did you know that I actually did that? I actually did that, and it helped a bit, it
Yeah,
worked. Maybe I didn't say it with enough conviction, but um, yeah, I thought that was a funny little thing to add.
it is fun. It's so fun. I was just in Montreal and I kind of paved the way for all the traffic to be gone when we went into Montreal because we were in a suburb.
Hmm.
And our side of the freeway was pretty decent, and especially on the way home because I was really ready. Like I was so hot. And anyway, so we got there very fast, and the other side of the freeway was like absolutely packed. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, I don't understand what's happening. There's no traffic over here." And I was like, "Mhm.
You're like, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome." Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, so the military, and there are players inside that
Mhm.
group that are here to help us, including
Yes.
ETs. Now, do you see or envision a world where ETs actually come down to Earth and like are here, living amongst us in out in the open and like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Because they are living beyond the second ice wall where the
Mm.
dome was. So they are living out there. And honestly, like you could have an ET standing right next to you right now. You just can't see them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're never alone. We see like less than 1% of the light spectrum, but we've been getting a lot of eye upgrades. So I don't know if you guys have noticed like your eyes get kind of blurry and then a couple weeks later they're clear again.
Yeah.
Those are eye upgrades. So next is going to come the brain upgrade because we only see 4% of what's actually in front of us. So you're never alone. You're not alone in the bathroom. You're not alone in the bedroom. You're not alone. They can see through your walls. They're everywhere. Whether there's a spirit or an interdimensional or an ET, they're all over the place. And we're going to start to see them and interact with them. And a lot of us will probably be doing projects with them.
Yeah, I can see that happening, right?
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I'm
It'll be
sorry,
really cool.
but we went sort of off of your topic. If you want to circle back
To
to
where? To the financial
the
system? Well,
financial,
we got a lot
We got a lot out with that. The main thing is I think the banks will become kind of like, when you go to the airport and there's a place to exchange foreign money.
yes.
So I think that most of the money will be exchanged through banks. Your straw man will be managed through the bank for a little while.
Mhm.
I think banks will become less and less, like there'll be less and less banks out there because they won't be needed. But at first, I mean, everything is a transition, and we may not have physical money in the future, but we will have it to begin with because people wouldn't understand and would maybe be afraid if we didn't have physical money. So we will have physical money, but I think it will actually be woven with actual metal, which is going to be really cool.
That will be cool.
that
Yeah.
will be
Yep.
so great. So everybody who's listening, just remember the XRPs, the XLMs, some Zim if you have some
Mm-hmm.
projects, and the rest of the world currency that is gonna probably be reevaluated soon.
Yeah, the Bolivar
The
and
Bolivar.
the Dong are going to have a huge reevaluation, you know? So those two are going to be massive. The dinar, I feel like it'll be great, but not to the degree, that the other two will be. So
But that will mean that the people that live in those countries will be almost
wealthy.
rich overnight, like
Yes,
super wealthy
yes, they will because they were basically suppressed
for so long.
so that people could take advantage of their country and their resources in those countries. So they're not going to be poor anymore. All the money will be equal. Yep.
Mm.
and it's going to change their lives in a massive way.
Massive.
Yeah, which is fantastic because they deserve that.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's great. Well, great for people to know, for us to know. Um, there was something else that we were discussing earlier, Tavel and I, and we started talking about the AI.
Yes, before we get into ChatGPT, I actually just pulled it up. If I could share my screen
Oh yeah. Here, let me.
because there is a new thing coming out about China actually
Oh right.
having a robot carry a baby full to term. And this freaked me out, you guys. So it got me thinking about transhumanism and how if humans are going to sort of bond with technology, and we see that more with like people using ChatGPT for their, like as a therapist or as their consciousness or as their guide of right and wrong. So now that we're actually having babies through robots, like what kind of species of humans is that going to create for us? Is that going to have like all of the mother's ability to like love and
Hmm.
trust and all of those things that you inherently get through like the womb and like the heartbeat even and those like I don't know DNA. Do you know what I mean? Am I
Yeah.
making sense?
I actually think it's a wake-up call. I
Okay.
don't think it's real, or will become real as a thing that people do all the time.
Right.
But it also reminds me of the incubator babies
Mm,
that
Okay.
were created underground. And they basically repopulated after the mud flood with incubator babies. And then they disclosed it at the World's Fairs.
Really?
Yeah.
What
So
you
to me, it's like disclosure.
and like if you think about it, it's like humans playing God. And they're
Yeah.
like playing with life like in a very like fickle like oh it's like we can do it so we should we
No,
I don't know that's
no,
crazy.
mm-mm,
It kind of reminds me, I don't know how into Harry Potter you are, but
no.
essentially Voldemort's mom uses this love potion to get the guy to fall in love with her, and they have a baby under this potion called Amortentia. It's like the love potion. And Voldemort is the way he is because he can't actually experience love and empathy because there was never any love there between like the parents. And it brings up a lot of ethical questions about, how is if that is going to be real, if that's in our timeline, what kind of humans is it going to create?
Yeah, I don't see it as being real,
Okay.
but I do see it as a way to bring up what has happened, which was very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year
And
was this actually? Because I'm gonna look into it.
the incubator babies.
Yeah.
So that happened. I got from my higher self around 1850, they had repopulated with them, but
Really?
when they disclosed it was more around 1900.
Okay.
Yeah. So the mud flood is what kind of sank all those cities, they sank, and
right.
there's all of a sudden like a basement. You're like, well, why does the basement have a doorway that goes to the outside? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So they did a liquefaction event, and they basically created frequency, and things were liquefied. Well, the ground was liquefied and things sank. And I feel like it happened everywhere, but to a greater degree in the US, it seems like, but also Russia, you could see it in Russia. There are places in the UK that you could see it. Um, it's all over the place, but when you look at Italy and stuff, you don't see it as much. But I'm about to go explore over there and see. So I'm excited about that. But um, really what happened is they fractured souls so that they could bring in kind of people who just couldn't say no to them,
Mm.
and that's where those souls ended up, is in those incubator babies, those fractured souls.
So in a sense, it was like a karmic cycle where those souls were destined to be there.
No, it was like a hijack. I mean, these were basically the bad guys. So this would have been the Khazarians doing this. So the deletes have been doing stuff for thousands of years, and this is one of the things that they did. And this is where the Cabbage Patch Kids came from. And then they had Cabbage Patch dolls later.
Right.
But the whole Cabbage Patch, oh, your baby came from the Cabbage Patch, that was a whole like thing that they did. And they sent out postcards and all kinds of junk like that. And that's where the stork story came from. Oh, your baby was delivered by the stork.
Stored.
Hmm.
Yeah. So just look up Cabbage Patch Kids and
Oh, I
incubator babies and you will find it. And I
go down
think
that rabbit
that's
hole.
where it's coming from. They want people to become more aware of that
Hmm.
because it isn't in the highest good of the baby.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. Definitely is not. It's just, it brings up the question of like merging machines with humans. And like we're seeing that even like me, I don't really talk to ChatGPT personally, but I am using it more and more to like write emails or like this and that. And a lot of my friends spend hours on it. So we're seeing like this sort of movement where it's like you're continuously spending more and more time turning to AI, whether to do images or just talk to you, or you're seeking out consciousness outside of yourself, you're seeking out
Mhm.
answers. Um, and it just brings a lot of questions to light, like what does that look like for us in the future? Is this something we can trust? Is this bad for us? Is it good for us? Is it neutral?
It's neutral.
Well,
You
most
think
of those
so?
things
Yeah.
are.
It's neutral, but it's how you use it. And you don't want to, it depends on the person, but a lot of people are still giving their power away to something outside of themselves.
Hmm.
But
And if they're using it to create things, that's great. But if they're using it to guide their lives, not great. Okay. You can get answers about things, but ultimately you want to know that you're the one in charge because everything's created by you in the first place. So your conversation with ChatGPT is your thing. You're actually doing it. It's your consciousness. However, if you don't know that, then you're giving your power away like you would to an NPC.
Hmm.
but oh, honey, you were just mentioning some history that was just removed from our history books. You were talking about the world fairs, what
Yeah,
happened, right? It seems like AI nowadays can totally delete some history, and because you consult with it, whoever's controlling the AI can change the narrative of the answers that you're getting.
they can, but it would only be if we agreed to let that happen as a collective.
So it depends on our consciousness. Is the AI a consciousness by itself? Is the AI a consciousness?
It is, but it's so if you're in Chat GPT and you are in the basic free version and you're asking a question about like, how do I fix my car? You know, how do I change a tire?
Easy.
How do I send an email? What should this look like? This email, right? But if you've paid for Chat GPT, then you're agreeing that it's part of, you're paying for it, then what you're going to get back is more about your consciousness.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm sorry.
Okay. So everything that you see, so your computer is your creation. All right. The collective agreed that we would have computers, but your particular computer, you have to recreate it every day when you wake up. Okay. So ultimately, your conversation with ChatGPT, even though it's a web-based platform, if you've paid for it and you believe that you're going to get good information out of it, that information is coming from you ultimately.
Mm.
I pay for it.
So do I. I mean, I get things out of it that I want. I get tags and I get if I have a question about how to arrange something, if I have a question about how to use Pinterest, then I'm getting better information out of that than if it was not paid for.
Right.
Because I have made it individualized by paying. I've put skin in the game, as people call it, to
Right.
make sure that I'm getting good stuff back. So to me, that's the difference. If you're not paying for it, you're probably haven't agreed to individualize it yet. And you're going to get basic information. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's still part of your consciousness, but you're not agreeing to make it go deeper.
So if you're going to ask your ChatGPT right now about the 1850s and the World Fair history, will you get the right answer or a whitewashed answer?
Let's test it and I'll put the answer below in the description.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll see what it comes up with. And remember too, you want to ask and be descriptive about what you're asking, but it really feels to me like the difference between, and that's what my higher self says, but also this computer that I'm using, I created it. The last one that I just bought, I had to return it. And why did I have to return it? Because I hesitated about buying it because I bought it in the middle of Mercury retrograde.
Mhm.
And then it just would turn off on its own. Okay, so I created that problem and I returned it and bought a new one. So that's the kind of thing, like we have to take total responsibility.
You're talking about ultimate responsibility.
Yeah, that's sovereignty. That's who we are. We are truly creating everything that we see. So I'll just end this with a story that I've told many, many times.
I'm
But
listening.
so I got up in the middle of the night and I had to go to the bathroom. And I go off to the bathroom, everything's normal. And I go to the bathroom and I come out the bathroom door because I closed it. I come out the bathroom door and all the walls are gone. I'm awake. All the walls are gone. The floor is gone. The roof is gone. And I'm like, this is weird. And I'm walking through the dirt and the bed, thankfully, is still there. And my husband is still in it. And I get back in the bed and I think to myself, I need to remember this in the morning. Because really, what I was being shown is that it doesn't really exist. Okay. So I walked through the dirt to learn that lesson. And very interesting lesson. And it didn't really faze me at the time because I've seen a lot of crazy things. But that's one that gets a lot of people like, oh, are you sure you were awake? I'm like, yes, I was awake. So it really is an illusion, and we're creating it every single day when we wake up.
What a beautiful, it's amazing to
Yes.
really understand that
Yeah.
all that matter that is around us is really an illusion.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's all created with different frequencies And those frequencies create different forms of matter, but all of it is just light. It's made with light, just like our bodies are made with light. So we're holding it up. So if you're a hoarder and you have all this stuff, like it's a harder thing for you. Like it takes more of your own consciousness to keep it all going.
Well, I'm gonna be literally having an existential crisis.
Okay.
No, but no, that's it's really interesting to think about. And it just brings up a lot of like disclosure movies that sort of hint to this um thing that we're talking about having like just being in some sort of like simulation, 3D Matrix, Truman Show type of reality and
Yeah.
finding that truth within
It reminds
yourself.
me, I'm sorry, Tevan, I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but
Agree.
it really reminds me of something I saw, like a short video that I saw, and I tested it at home, and everybody can do that. And you got to do it with somebody else. And you take like a towel
Oh,
and
yeah.
you cover the mirror and you put your head close to the mirror. Okay. So your face is basically covered. The mirror cannot see you, but the person on the side can actually see your face and your reflection in the mirror, even though you're covering the mirror, which is crazy.
You guys
So,
should go do that.
Tevel, let's do that. It's really
Okay.
fun.
Or
Okay. I want to hear what happens.
we'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. All right. Well, this was so much fun, you guys. Thank you
so
so
much fun.
much. And thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you. And I will have the Galactic Federation of Light.com underneath the video. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
check us out.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye,
Bye, everybody.
everybody.
Bye.